Please get out. Get out of this property. Immediately get out. Okay. Get out of this property immediately. Out. I don't want to hear anything. Out of this property immediately. I don't want to hear a word. Out. Out. Out of this property immediately until you come back with a warrant. Out. Out.
Of this property. I love this guy. He's killing it right now.
He's not German.
I know. Please get out of this property right now. No, he's not German.
I don't Polish. Know. He is Polish.
Yeah, no, he's Polish. I can't do a very good Polish accent.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what that sounds.
Yeah, well, it sounds like this. Out. That's that's all he's saying. But it's so funny. It's like when people come. This is like something that's kind of like you see it at debates and things like that when people like are just trying to troll someone, you know, or not really at debates, but more like large scale events or like those call lines that people have, and they just come in and try and troll the person, so they just start yelling like the same thing over and over again. And it's not always a good strategy, okay? I'm not going to lie to you. But this time, it definitely works, because these cops and these people coming in, I mean, what are they supposed to do? This guy's telling him, come back with a warrant. I mean, it is his right, you know? He's telling him, come back. You can't just walk in here. You can't just barge in here and tell me that I have to shut down. It's not your right to do that. And he's just so strong, standing up for what he believes in. And his voice is awesome.
Out! 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 Out of this property! Immediately out!
This is what I tell my dog when he like poops in the house. It's like, this is the exact same thing of when I'm reprimanding Rocky.
Sounds like an exorcism.
I know.
Out! Get out!
Yeah. Out, you Polish demon!
Immediately go out and don't come back. I don't want to talk to you. Not a word. Out of this property immediately.
I love it.
I don't care what you have to say. Out! Out! Out of this property, you Nazis! Out! Out! Gestapo is not allowed here.
That's right.
He's calling them Nazis. Gosh. He's calling Gestapo. He's just so strong with it, which I think is like the coolest part.
I know. This guy is all of us. Like all the pent up energy that we have from like lockdowns and just all the BS regulations from the government that everyone's had to put up and mask Nazis and stuff. Everyone's just like, this guy's channeling all of our collective energy and rage and just like,
I know.
I think we all feel it.
This guy's been watching like all of the PragerU videos and just taking all of that rage and energy and exerting it here. Listen, we don't want you guys to just, you know, go around yelling at police officers. That's not what we're advocating for here, okay? I think that's pretty clear. But we are advocating for standing up to tyranny.
That's right. When it comes to your doorstep, that's the time to push back.
Say something, right? Don't let people walk all over
you. You didn't give them an inch, and that's what you can't do. Don't be like Chris Harrison and bow to the woke mob.
No, no. You tell them out. Out.
Immediately, Gestapo is not allowed. Out. Do you understand English? Get out of this property. Go. So go. Go. And don't come back without a warrant. Out, Nazi. Out. Out. You understand? Nazis are not welcome here. Out. And don't come back without a warrant. Do not come back without a warrant. You understand that? You're not welcome here. Nazis are not welcome here. Gestapo is not welcome here. Do not come back, you Nazi psychopaths.
Oh my goodness.
Unbelievable, sick, evil people. Intimidating people in a church during the Passover. You Gestapo, Nazi, communists, fascists. Don't you dare coming back here.
Man. That's wild.
Can you imagine those psychopaths? Passover, the holiest Christian festival in a year, and they're coming to intimidate Christians during the holiest festival? Unbelievable. What is wrong with those sick psychopaths? It's beyond me.
So based.
Based. Super based.
It feels like I get that feeling like whenever you're watching Braveheart or like Aragorn giving the speech before they're like leading the army against the
This is like the Ride of the Rohirrim.
Yeah,
like,
seriously.
Right before Minas Tirith when Rohan
yeah,
comes.
let's go freaking take on some tyranny. Let's do this.
I know. But it's like, again, Not advocating for you to just go yell at people, okay? But this guy is defending himself, okay? There's a big difference. This is his livelihood. This is his business. This is where he has gathered people after a year of lockdowns to celebrate the most holy of Christian days. Like he said, you know, Easter, Passover, and celebrating this and bringing people together for a good cause, and then they're going and shutting it down. You know, the police are trying to come in and shut it down. And it's like, it makes no sense. We were out at Tin Horn Flats yesterday in Burbank, if you guys know what that is. That's where the business owner, or the co-owner of the business, he's been arrested 3 times now for keeping his business open despite the lockdowns. He kept it open, excuse me, and they shut his water and power off, or shut the power off, and arrested him. And then he got a backup generator, and then they said that his generator wasn't up to code, or there was wiring or something, and then I'm pretty sure he gets arrested again. And then they put sandbags out in front of his restaurant so that he couldn't even get into his restaurant, his own restaurant that he paid for. Also, the amount of money that he pays for like regulations through the government, $135,000 a year on average for small businesses and compliance costs to the California government every year. It's insane that he's paying all this in his restaurant, and then he tries to move the sandbags to open up, and they arrest him again. But he continually stands up to tyranny. Imagine, you know, Los Angeles. I don't know. I read something about, this is New York. I mean, New York, it was like you could go to a different restaurant for every single meal in New York for a total of like 6 years or something like that, right? Have you guys ever heard that, something like that? No? You ever heard that?
Interesting.
Like, there's so many different restaurants that if you go to a different restaurant for every single meal for 6 years, you would always be going to a different restaurant. I only bring this up to say, okay, imagine if all of these restaurants had all said, no, I'm not closing down. I'm not shutting down. But in reality, out of all those restaurants, you only have 1 or 2 or 3 who are standing up and doing something, and then they're easily shut down by the government or by bureaucracy, whatever it might be. They're easily shut down. I mean, we were out there yesterday, and there was a gang of people. It was awesome, like people, you know, counter-protesting and saying, you know, I can't believe the police are doing this, and I can't believe the government's doing this. It was wild. And then, like, I was out there to go and film, and the police said I couldn't be on the sidewalk without press credentials. And it's like, this was a public street. This was a public street, and the police said that I couldn't be out there. And then there were 2 leftist chicks, and they had signs that said, tear down Tin Horn Flats, the restaurant that we were at, and put up a Planned Parenthood. They want to replace, this is the delusion of the left, they wanted to replace a restaurant that has been serving the community for years, that makes tons of people happy, with a place that murders babies. Just take that in for a sec. And then the police wouldn't let us talk to them at all. They said, you know, it wasn't a free speech zone, whatever, and, you know, weren't allowed to go over there, even though it's a public street and you don't need media credentials to be on a public street. It was all very odd. But the guy, what we're saying is that the guy who is the co-owner who kept getting arrested stood up, and that, you know, California, I say this a lot, but I mean, California used to be a very conservative place, and now look at it, it's a terrible place because conservatives didn't stand up and do anything. So you live in Idaho right now, you live in Montana, you live in Texas, Florida, you know, you might be a little apathetic towards what's happening in your state or what's happening in your county or your community, wherever it might be, and you think, whatever, we're already conservative, it doesn't matter, it's not going to happen here. That's California, right? California is their own thing, and they do terrible stuff there, and, you know, they're going to eventually secede and be their own broken country. But it will happen to you. It will happen to you. This stuff moves so fast. The left moves in and devours everything in its path in a blink of an eye. So you have to be ready for it. And you can't be sitting back and saying someone else is going to handle it. Doesn't matter. You have to be ready to fight all the time. Like this pastor. Based. What's up, guys? Thank you so much for watching this video. PragerU is a 501c3 organization. Help us keep our videos free by making a tax-deductible donation today. I'd really appreciate your support.